Energy Choice Act supported by Delco supervisors. Teachers turn to public for backing. Stanford Jefferson dominates and become Delaware League basketball champions. These are the top headlines this week. Welcome to CatskillsAir. I'm Jessica Murphy. Joining me now is Matt Evitable, editor and publisher of the Mountain Eagle and Catskills Chronicle. Welcome, Matt.
Thanks for having me.
There's a lot to talk about, so let's get to the news. Delaware County supervisors voted to support Congressman Nick Langworthy's Energy Choice Act. Matt, what does the act entail, and how does this affect Albany's ban on natural gas?
So we're not quite sure how far this will affect anything in Albany, but ultimately the act introduced last June would prohibit governments from banning an energy services connection, reconnection, modification, installation, or expansion based on the type or source of energy that is used. This is based after efforts in Albany to try and restrict the use of fossil fuels, natural gas, diesel, and more. It's prompted a lot of backlash from the local area, especially with a cold winter like this. Sometimes electric heat is either just not enough or it's very expensive. Delaware County Board supported this effort wholeheartedly. As a matter of fact, the congressman even described in his own opinion that the effort is a quote, extremist crusade against natural gas. A lot more information on the cover, a lot of opinion on the cover as well from members of the local government and the member of Congress in this week's paper.
Sounds as if this will be on our radar for quite some time. School budgets are in the works, and Stanford teachers are now appealing to the public for contract support. What's the issue, Matt, and why reach out to the public?
Stanford teachers would like a new contract. They haven't had one for a while. As a matter of fact, you can see some of the comparisons for pay between the Stanford teachers and a number of local districts. There's also concern about a rotating door at Stanford, whether or not teachers can be kept. The union is speaking strongly that they want a new contract. There's, of course, concern about money, both from the teacher side and the school side. But if you want more detail, it's a long article as the lead of this week's paper from our own Liz Page.
It may take some time for both sides to reach an agreement. We'll cover this as more news happens. It's a win-win all around for Stanford Jefferson. In basketball, both the girls and boys teams are Delaware League champs. Matt, you have quite a lot of coverage of this game in this week's paper.
Oh my gosh, we have some great photos too. We'll be sharing them on CatskillsAir as well. Both the boys and the girls for Stanford Jefferson triumphed. Really good efforts by their opponents. We have a shot from South Court right on the cover as well. But in the end, Stanford Jefferson won.
And CatskillsAir is also on the ball. We have some game highlights.
We're working with some great students over there for the Sports Minute. They covered some local games. We're looking to expand it. We want a lot more coverage of our local teams, and we have the video to back it up. So keep it tuned. We're going to be hearing more from Mike and Michael in our Catskill Sports Minute.
Game highlights will be running throughout the week. And while we're talking Stanford, there's a proposed new noise law and a public hearing coming up. If adopted, police can enforce it and fine violators.
We talked about this previously, that in the past there's been efforts to try and clamp down on noise violators, but one of the things the state police said is there's just not a local law. Now it looks like Stanford might pass this effort. It's going to be fashioned after the one that Courtright uses right now, and the hope is that it will cut down on excessive noise and allow for police to enforce it.
We've covered the film Unfiltered about the New York watershed battle, and reporter Mary Crisafulli writes about the latest screening that left audiences, well, kind of confused and skeptical. What can you tell us, Matt?
Unfiltered New York's watershed battle was shown at SUNY Delhi, and it looked like there was a bit of a split here about the use of water, the use of energy. We had some people during the Q&A asking, and it looks like there's a lot of good information. Some of the people in the audience didn't exactly agree with some of what the film proposed and what the film wound up exploring, but it sounded very interesting at the very least, so I highly recommend check out the film and make up your own mind.
There's talk of another screening in Phoenicia, and we'll have details at a later date. We talked about the Democrats running for the 102nd Assembly District, and now the Republicans are up. Matt, there are two articles in this week's paper about former Rep. Mark Molinaro jumping into the race, and you wrote one of them.
Absolutely. One from Mike Ryan, one from me. Mike was there when they discussed endorsements in Greene County. I interviewed the former congressman. Molinaro has been in the state legislature before and is a former mayor and Dutchess County executive. Now he's running for assembly. So we're going to balance out our coverage between Republicans and Democrats as time goes on. As you mentioned, we've covered the Democrats. Now this week, the Republicans. Molinaro said in his interview that his number one goal is to cut the cost of living. He says, in his opinion, that efforts in Albany have increased the cost of living for state residents. He hopes to be able to do this in multiple forms, from consumer goods to energy to taxes. We'll have to talk more about his proposed plan as the race continues.
There will be plenty more politics as the season approaches. An investigation into the tire slashing of 2 vehicles parked at the Catskill Recreation Center in Arkville led to an arrest. Matt, who committed this crime?
Allegedly, Carl Anders Berg, age 29, of Margaretville, slashed tires. This is what the state police is accusing him of. He was charged with a misdemeanor of criminal mischief in the 4th degree, and the incident occurred on February 5th.
Berg will appear in Middletown Court on March 10th. Delaware Academy students are getting hands-on with animals in a new internship. Matt, explain how this program works, please.
We have to give a lot of credit to Samantha Gorsh. She's working with the animals and with students. She is a senior at Delaware Academy, and she had the opportunity to complete an internship with Animal Adventure Park and Preserve in Harpersville. With that, we have some really cool photos. I'm a little bit jealous. She's there with the rhino. Not so jealous about her with the giant millipede. You'll have to see the picture in the paper. But ultimately, it was a great experience. A lot of credit to the school district and the DCMO BOCES. And it looks like Sam has a bright future ahead.
Well, I am going to pass on the millipede, but that sounds like a great opportunity. It's been so cold out, but still some folks decided to take a plunge for a good cause. Here's our Chris Cook with the story.
Yeah, Jess, for this one, you need to be a little bit crazy and have a real big heart.
3, 2, 1,
On Saturday, February 21st, hundreds braved not only chilly air, but the frosty water of Goodyear Lake for the 26th annual Polar Bear Jump. Yep, 148 folks stripped to their swimwear in just above freezing air to plunge through a foot of ice on the lake's surface, while many more watched and cheered. Brr! The jump raised money for area children with life-threatening medical needs. This year, 6 of the 12 kids live in Delaware County. All benefit from the bravery of a few wet, wild, and wacky swimmers. This wasn't the first plunge for many of them. Some have done the dive for more than 2 decades. After drying off and warming up, everyone gathered to celebrate at the Oneonta Elks Club. Organizers Brenda and Jamie Waters revealed that more than $203,000 was raised.
jump!
Chris, I actually have done a polar bear plunge before, so I know what it feels like, and I am good with just the one. And there's more on the jump in the paper. Matt, do you want to jump in next time?
I'm going to leave this one to you.
So Matt, tell us more about the polar bear plunge.
One of the best events of the year. They raised more than $200,000 for local families. They're supporting 12 local individuals and families facing serious medical and financial hardships. Organized by Brenda and Jamie Waters, about 200 people showed up. It is one of the best events of the area, and I'm really glad that it was successful.
Very good. Well, maybe you'll do it next year. To see bios on the kids who are all being helped this year or learn more about the annual polar bear plunge, check out their website. Now, for some, the cold weather has been a bonus. How have the Catskills ski slopes fared so far this season, Matt?
We worked with Josh Youngquist from the SUNY Institute for Local News for this report on several local mountains. In particular, we wound up seeing the conditions at Windham Mountain. Josh talked with Erin Campbell, the communications coordinator for Windham Mountain, said that this has been one of the strongest stretches of the season to date. She said that there's packed powder and powder conditions. We wound up seeing 100% of Bel Air's terrain open. Hunter had 70 of its 71 trails open. Plattekill is closed midweek, only one trail, and it's terrain park were closed. Overall, we wind up seeing the cold and the snow, although frustrating for other things, being really good for the ski season.
And it looks as if ski season may go on right through spring. So while we're talking skiing, one Margaretville school student is a star on the slopes. Tell us about River Williams and also the Section 4 championships at Bel Air.
Definitely. River, a 10th grader, has been excellent. So a follow-up on the ski section. Here we wound up seeing River competing at the February 23rd and 24th championships at Bristol Mountain in Canandaigua. She was the only MCS skier to qualify for the state championships and is one of 6 athletes from Section 4 selected to compete at the state level. She earned her spot after a strong performance at the Section 4 championships on February 10th at Bel Air. She competed against some of the best students in the state, wound up doing very well, especially considering that this was just her first year at the MCS ski program.
Congrats, River. And while we're on school sports, 2 local coaches got big honors. Matt, the Delaware League Coaches Hall of Fame inductions were held last week.
2 of the best, George Proctor, former coach from Roxbury Central School, as well as retired Gilboa Conesville teacher and coach Melinda Corner. Both were honored. We also saw Wyndham Ashland Jewett retired coach Janice Hitchcock honored as well, but was not able to make it to the ceremony. 2 really good photos of both Melinda and George being honored before that important game.
MCS Elementary now has kids in swim and on the slopes. It's all part of their physical education program.
Really cool photos in this week's paper as we wind up seeing the expansion of the partnership between MCS and Bel Air Mountain Ski Center, the Catskill Recreation Center, and the Town of Middletown Recreation Program. This winter, students from grades 2 through 6 participated in a 4-week ski program at Bel Air. We wound up seeing the 6-week Learn to Swim program as well, held every Tuesday at the Catskill Recreation Center. Joy Holden, the principal of the school, said that this is about more than recreation. It's about wellness, confidence, and safety. A lot of credit to Joy and the school for pulling off the school program.
Sounds like fun, Matt. And more school news, concert pianist Justin Kolb launches a music scholarship for aspiring music majors. This is a wonderful opportunity, isn't it?
We've talked about Justin before. Justin has a lot of skill and a lot of experience and is willing to give back. We have a QR code if you'd like to find out more. He said that this would hopefully serve as a note of appreciation to Catskill Hudson Valley parents, patrons, and students for supporting his efforts to acknowledge the merit and value of performing and fine art as the cultural DNA in everyone. And I think he's right.
Margaretville students took a trip to Spain for a deep dive into their language. Matt, that is so cool. Tell us about that.
Spanish students wound up going there. Fantastic photos. We actually couldn't fit them all, but they wound up going to some really cool places. We have a picture of them in front of an aqueduct, a picture of them at the Alhambra, a picture of them in Seville. It sounded like an awesome trip. I'm a bit jealous, and I'm really glad they had a chance to go.
I am also jealous. And one last school report, Delaware Academy Student Senate hosts a community blood drive. Matt, this is something we can all participate in, right?
This is a great chance to give back. They need blood of all types. If you can make it, it's Thursday, March 5th from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. Head over to the Delaware Academy Auxiliary Gym. You can set up an appointment beforehand or just show up.
Well, for more on these and other articles, pick up the Mountain Eagle or Catskills Chronicle. But Matt, before you go, what's up for next week?
So we have the transition end of the month, so some of the board meetings are going to start again. We're going to be working on a new Catskills Sports Minute. We also are going to be talking about the aftermath of these championship games and how some of the local teams are going to advance.
Well, thanks for keeping us all up to date, Matt. We will see you next week.
See you then.
And now it's time to talk sports. Here's John with all the details on the Stanford Jefferson Champs.
It was double your pleasure. The guys and gals of both Stanford Jefferson in the Delaware League and Delhi Academy of the MAC, that's the Mid-State Athletic Conference, both bringing home league championships in their respective leagues. The Girls Delaware League Championship game would see a chip in the basketball dynasty erected by South Courtright Andes. February's championship championship tilt was the 18th consecutive year that SK Andes played for the league crown. The Rams were winners of the past 15 Delaware League titles. Yet Stamford Jefferson more than met the challenge, storming past the Rams 52-39. The victory was the first Delaware League title involving Stamford Central since the early 2000s and the first ever for Jefferson. As she has in most every game this season, McKenna Hoyt would pace SJ, scoring 21 points and pulling down 15 rebounds. In what has to be considered a shocking upset, it was all Stamford Jefferson in the boys' Delaware League Championship matchup. Stamford Jefferson had fallen to SK Andes twice during the regular season, but none of that mattered in the title clash, with SJ roaring to a 70-45 title win. The boys' basketball championship was Stamford's first in the modern era of the Delaware League. That would be from 1975 until today. For Jefferson, the title was their first since the 1970s. Mr. Consistency, Pat Kirk, fired in a team-high 22 points for Stamford Jefferson. Jake Mrazek had his biggest game of the year, netting 20 points for the victors. Parker Pop continued his run of high-scoring outings, tallying a game-high 28 points for the Rams. It was all Delhi Academy in the MAC championships. The Delhi Gals won a tight championship contest, 53-48 over Bainbridge Guilford. The victory was historic, the first ever MAC girls title for the Bulldogs. Once again, fierce defense and balanced scoring was the key for Delhi. 3 Bulldogs reached double figures, with Danielle Ennist leading the way, scoring a dozen points, and Lexi Davis and Rebecca Verspor scoring 10 points apiece. The Delhi boys did it again, winning their 4th consecutive MAC title, crushing Unitigo Franklin 60-28. Like the girls, a ferocious defense and scoring balance were the keys for the guys, too. Teddy Kelsch was high man for the Bulldogs, scoring 13 points. Benny Schnabel chipped in 12 points, and Levi Shepard 10 for the Bulldogs. The boys and girls Section 4 championship basketball tournament also got underway. The Delaware League fared well in the Class D opening round of the boys tournament. Cody Caravino had a big night, scoring 19 points and pulling down 13 rebounds, leading the 8th-seeded Gilboa Roxbury over 9th-seeded Cherry Valley Springfield 51-46. 10th-seeded Windham upset 7th-seed Mount Upton 64-59, with Peyton Dempsey firing in a game-high 25 points for the Warriors. And 5th-seeded DL champion Stamford Jefferson down 12th-seed Charlotte Valley 48-34. Jake Mrazek sizzled from behind the three-point arc, burying 5 trays to lead SJ with 19 points. In opening round play on the girls' side, SK Andes defeated Afton 51-37 to advance. Carly Drop and Kennedy Corino both scored a dozen points to lead the Rams. We'll have more Section 4 championship basketball action to report next week.
Thanks, John, and big congrats to all the SJ players. Now let's see what Elizabeth has in arts and entertainment.
Most of the outlying communities know about Bushel. It's an art collective where they house and have multiple events, performances, and installations throughout the year. So they have, among their many exhibitions, something called Bushel Free Store. From March 1st to the 21st, it will be open during all events and scheduled hours. You can call and check about that. They need things that you no longer want. Say you've changed, you used to be a pen artist and now you're a pastel artist, and you have lots of pens and different kinds of things for that apparatus. Bring it in. You have frames, you have art papers, stationery, brushes, electronics, small electronics, cables, yarn, fabrics, any kind of thing like that, even seeds. So you can call if you have a donation. Just stop in, check out online what you can do. It helps the Bushel Collective support artisans who may not have things that they need. Also, Foothills, Oneonta's Foothills. They always have wonderful events every single month. Numerous different kinds at the multiple stages, the Bigger Dreams Productions. This one they have the Made by New York Women's Film Festival. This is supported by a number of grants. It's a night of comedy, a night of drama. It's only 2 nights, March 6th and 7th. The tickets are free, but donations are accepted and readily appreciated. Thank you. Comedy night is the 6th and drama is the 7th. Sorry about that. You'll do a meet and greet with people, and then they'll have shorts. So it'll be a wonderful event, wonderful evening out. March 14th at the Orpheum, the New York Ballet Hispanico BH2 will be performing at the Arts Center. Select dancers from the Hispanica New York Ballet will perform various musical pieces for everybody's edification. So this will be also a wonderful event in the Orpheum. Also, open call. If you have an event coming up, a performance, an exhibition, if you're going to be doing a particular story hour, you've written a book, you want to write a book, get a hold of me through CatskillsAir, BethMammy61 at Gmail. Just contact me and we'll get you on Focus on the Arts. See you next time.
Thanks, Elizabeth. There's always something fun to do in the Catskills. All the snow may delay bear sightings. March is when the mama bears come out of their dens with their new adorable and hungry cubs. So as the days warm up, be careful driving around because the cubs haven't quite learned the rules of the road yet. And of course, don't leave food or trash out because they are hungry. So will there be sightings sooner or later? Let's see what's ahead with the weather.
Heidi ho, friends and neighbors. It's Lori with CatskillsAir, bringing you your weekly weather update for the beautiful, pristine, so highly wacky and unpredictable weather Catskill Mountain region. And you see this frozen little window behind me on my waterfalls? That is about to disappear, and the waterfall will become water again. However, this rise in temperatures that we're going to see midweek with some of that dreaded 4-letter word, rain, I do see another cold clip coming through. Around Friday the 13th, it will be a horror story for sure, but we're going to play that teeter-totter effect throughout the whole month of March. So let's just give it a go and check out what's happening for this week in weather, and let's get into it. On Monday, we have some clouds in the morning, giving way to mostly sunny skies, remaining on the chilly side, temps reaching the upper 20s, winds light and variable. Overnight, we have mostly clear skies with a few passing clouds, remaining very chilly and frigid. Temperatures are going to dip back to the double digits of 12, with winds out of the south-southwest at 5 to 10. Tuesday, we have cloudy skies with some snow and ice in the afternoon. Light accumulation of 1 to 3 inches. Temps are only going to reach the low to mid-30s, winds out of the south-southwest at 5 to 10. Overnight, we have cloudy skies with periods of rain, which will be slushy. Temperatures dipping back to the low 30s, winds light and variable. On Wednesday, we have cloudy skies with a slight chance of afternoon showers. Temperatures are going to climb to the upper 40s, winds light and variable. Overnight, we have rain showers and some slip-slop after midnight. Temps are going to dip back to the mid-30s, winds light and variable. On Thursday, we have a steady light rain in the morning with occasional rain and drizzle in the afternoon. Temps are going to be in the upper 40s, winds light and variable. Overnight, we have periods of rain showers. Those temperatures are going to drop back to the upper 30s, winds light and variable. And on Friday, we have overcast skies with rain showers mainly in the morning. Temps are going to drop back a little from the daytime temps from the days before to the low 40s. Winds lightly blowing out of the south at 5 to 10. And overnight, we have foggy skies, mostly cloudy skies with low clouds. and a chance of late night showers after midnight. Temperatures are going to dip back to the mid to upper 30s, winds out of the south-southwest at 5 to 10. As I bid you farewell, remember that weather and temperature changes on a dime, especially in the beautiful Catskills. Be sure to join me for your weekend weather update, because we got some more tricks in our bag to pull out for the weekend. So see you then from somewhere in the Cats.
That's it for CatskillsAir News. If you see something, let us know. I'm Jessica Murphy. Bye for now.